And so now I got this bad boy. I decided to transfer over some manifold bolts. These are all still really good on this D16 head, which I'm getting rid of. So I'm just going to harvest these guys right off of there. They work perfectly fine. That's the old head. That's the original one that came on the green EX. The rebuilt one I bought, and the last one that was on the car is currently in there. So yeah, just started doing this. Got my second one. Should be fun. I got those transferred over. I did clean off the threads on the back side. Now I'm going to clean off the threads on the front side. And then, yeah, and then do the other side. Alright, so I went to pull some bolts off the back. As you can see here, they are just not the right size. Which is probably why ARP sells a bolt set for the exhaust. So I'm going to go ahead and order that. And in the meantime, I've started pulling apart some pieces to start adding some gaskets on there. It's got a box over there, some stuff I can do with a VTEC and whatnot. So I'm going to just kind of do that stuff. So yeah, right now I'm just getting this guy kind of brushed up and cleaned off. I may or may not paint it, we'll see. Got the VTEC out, new gasket on. Look at the paint. Yeah. Got this all polished up, gasket on in there. Thanks to Chad Lee. Look how polished that is, look how shiny that is. A lot of elbow grease went into that. Alright, so I was about ready to clean this off. Got my head bolt studs on there. They are all the exact same height. I put this temporary gasket on there and put the head on there and made sure the bolts were a good height, because some of these are pretty loose compared to some of them are really tight. So I just want to make sure the starting point, at least, they're all the exact same height. Measure was a machinist ruler, so it's got to be pretty good. Starrett machinist ruler, by the way. But so yeah, so now I'm just gonna use a coffee filter and some brake cleaner, clean off this head real good. I got the other head, the actual head sitting there, so I'm gonna clean off the head mating surface of the block, and then get ready for the head gasket. All right, head is on. Looking all right. Looking good. She's got a bit sunlight coming through. Or that's just a gasket maybe, but just on there, barely sitting on there. I'm trying not to push it down or anything. I had to give it a couple little love taps, but nothing crazy. Just kind of rocked it down and sat it in there. Now you can see where these guys are sitting. So hopefully everything works out with that. We'll see, huh? Alright, so I got them all the same height where I want them as far as depth above the nut. I realized that was way too high, so I lowered them down to a more appropriate height. And none of them like bottomed out or anything, so a little bit of torque on them. But anyways, got them down to where I want them. Brushed a little bit of the ARP fastener assembly lubrication on there. Bing! And now I'm just kind of adding some to the very bottom here. Get a little bit on there. There we go. Because we want the bolt to spin, but not the washer. Alright, more of that. Well, got her on there, torqued down, squatted down, saw that huge gap, freaked out. Luckily it's just nothing there. But that's where they sit, nice and proud. Nice and proud. All 10 of them. I did 30, 60, 80 foot-pounds as per the instructions. for the K20 A2, A3. And that was scary as hell. This calls for 29 foot-pounds. It says to follow the torque procedure on there for this. Follow this torque procedure. But get it up to 80 foot-pounds, which is like 71 Newton. Let's see what that is in Newton. $108 Newton. That's not even in Newton. Never mind. I thought it was in Newton. What the hell is that? Oil. Anyways, yep. So that fucker's on there. Guten Tag. Now I can start putting other stuff on. Alright, I got this guy cleaned off. It's a brake cleaner. And got a little Honda bond right there. Now I'm going to throw the head on, or the rocker on. Alright, so got that guy back on there. That was tough. I had to actually, since I'm by myself, I had to angle it sideways. Pick it up like that. Bring it over. Put it on like that. And then tip up the whole thing in one big motion. But it's on there. Looking good. It's the best looking K engine I've ever built. Alright, got this guy on there. Pretty good. I just went to put on, I wanted to do something fun, so I went to put this on. It looked a little close to this bolt, so I wanted to see my clearance. And I realized that on this side, this is like rubbing bad right there, so I gotta take a bunch of that off with a Dremel or something. I may rethink this and go with the delete and the pump. Look into that a little bit. But for right now, I am pooped. I'm soaking wet, freezing cold. And yeah, got a lot done. So until the next day, probably tomorrow. Alright, so I got that marked off. Just above the coolant tube there. About 1/4 of an inch. Probably just gonna go right to the bottom of that, as opposed to kind of following my guideline there. But I need to get rid of that big time. I decided to come at it from this side. It's like a better angle right there. So before I cut it, I'm just gonna make sure I don't need it for anything. Pretty sure I don't. Alright, 3 hours later. The thing is gone. Boom, now I can get my intake manifold on there. I just need to take a little bit off. I'm like, why don't I just take the whole thing off? Still a little rough right here, but the work kind of speaks for itself. Had some fun kind of forming this stuff. This is really square, as you can tell by the top. It's nice and flat. But I tried to round it off a little bit, give it some curvature around the edge here. I always like doing stuff like that, but yeah, there's the rest of it. There's the rest of you. Don't really think it'll fit my oubliette for bad parts, but I don't know, definitely make a sweet necklace. Does that look like about the amount of aluminum that came out of that little slit up there? And I still gotta paint that. But that being said, I threw this on there to make sure it fits, which it does. You can see where that was a problem. The height mark right here. So that part, this would not. I suppose if this was a bolt, I might have been able to do it. But I kind of wanted to get rid of it anyway. So I got that, and this is where the alternator bracket's going to attach onto. Obviously, the alternator is going to swing down here. So yeah, and then I was just looking at this bull boost. So I'm not a fan of bull boost, but whatever. The only other, nobody makes this in black for some reason. Not this particular K21. But anyways, so I'm just throwing that in there to see if it fits, which it does. So now I'm going to take this stuff off and do some Honda bonding, clean it up a little bit, Honda bond it, and then thread tape it, but not use the shit they sent with. Gotta use the real stuff. I got this thing all thread taped to put together. Top's still pretty loose. I'll have to throw a little Honda bond on here and a little bit on the back side of this. Actually, before I do that, I've got to figure out that sensor. I have one somewhere, I know it's the same one. Yeah, I need it. Alright, so D16 has a little, that hole right in the middle there next to that sensor is this little guy, which I just bought not a month before I switched from the D16 over to this guy. So, and it's the exact same part, the K-Tunes hybrid, all of them sell. Buy it on Amazon, 15 bucks. I think it's called like a 31.29. Yeah, you don't gotta pay double the price because K-Tune put this in their own package. Anyways, yeah, I wanted to see if you line up these bolts, if that actually fit there, and it just barely fits. So, I watched about 15 videos yesterday just trying to figure out what exactly that was. Because I had the set screw for it somewhere up here. But I don't have any idea what the heck that was for. And one of the videos said, plug it up or else it's going to be impossible to do it later, which it kind of would be. So I wanted to figure it out, and that's what it's for. It's for an EF for the sensor. So there you go. It's a fan temperature, the coolant temp fan relay, one wire. Alright, you can see I got just a little hint on here, just a hint on there. I really let the gasket do its work, but can't hurt to do a little Honda bound. Alright, that dude is on there. Yeah, that is a dude. Just threw a quick layer of paint on here. Oh, that looks goofy. Quick layer. High heat, gray, enamel. Same as this and this and this. This is a much better paint than that. So. Alright, what else? Alright, so Bull Boost has this stupid little fucking lip right here. For some stupid fucking reason. Oh, let's be stylish. Well, I can't get my shit on and off. I tried taking a little bit off, but I don't want to take more than... I don't want to take any off of the exhaust from the thing, but... like, that's just stupid. It's poor designing. That's why I hate bulb booths. They just suck as a company. Alright, so I can't put that on there. I did clean it all off. And I got the mating surface cleaned off as well. I figure I can do the lower thermostat and the water pump. So broke out the old Honda. Alright. That guy on there. Located semi-appropriately. I guess I can move it later. I just kind of figured that out. Got that on there. Sorry my camera's jumping. It's trying to figure out how to focus. So, boom, water housing. Pretty much done. I got the little thing here somewhere. I don't know. It's floating around in one of these boxes somewhere. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do anything else tonight. It's getting kind of late. And it should be dinner time. We got the timing chain. Lower thing. I gotta chop more off of that. Figure that damn thing out tomorrow. And yeah, I pulled this guy out to make sure that it fits. Before I put this on, I wanted to make sure I could get it on there. And it's got plenty of room. So I gotta pop that gasket, of which I have one sitting over on the desk over yonder. I think that's it for today. But got a lot done, man. I got this thing completely taken off. Maybe I'll wait until tomorrow. I'll hit that with a little more paint. But got that thing completely gone. It lives on the wall now. My neighbor was impressed. I told her I did it while she was gone. And then the spray paint over my buddy's shiny here. But you know, that's pretty sweet in and of itself. So yeah, all right, tomorrow morning. Alright, so I took my head off. I realized that I put the Honda Bond on and then didn't set it. I just kind of set it on there, and so I had this big gap there. So I pulled this off. I'm going to finish cleaning the rest of this off. It's really close. Got the plastic razor blade. Then my ADD kicked in, and I thought I would carve this down a little bit more, which I did, and now it fits perfectly. I just had to take a little bit off, basically like right here. This part was the one that was rubbing just past the thing, so I took that down a little bit. Obviously you can see from the front it's not really going to affect anything. Didn't quite get into the old gasket mark there. I do have polishing kit coming, so I'm going to polish this front face here. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to polish this. I might not. We'll see. In the meantime, I'm going to re-gasket or re-Honda Bond this. Throw this on there for real, now that I've got it clearanced. Because you can see this really doesn't give you much room, and then they had that stupid lip right there. So, but that's in there. This isn't quite tightened down yet, but yes sir, looking good, looking good. Alright, so I went ahead and got these, I need to get these tightened down pretty quick here, but I got these in spot, line these up, that mark and that one, those two line up. I don't know if you can see, but this is black and it's got a little tiny dot right there. Boom, there's that. Got these guys down, torqued down to 12 foot-pounds, 12 foot-pounds. I think that was 22 foot-pounds. These are, the VTEC is 9.8 pounds. I did 9.75, so whatever. But yeah, this guy should be ready to roll. Boom! Look at that, tensionified. And it comes with this. Never got this. Like, this is super sketchy, but it's really long for what it is. These are regular ones, but I can live there. FedEx just showed up. Alternator bracket. So that'll probably be going on in a second here. I do want to get the valve cover on. Make sure there's nothing else I need to do before I get that boy going. Sitting right there, I just got to get a new gasket in there. You can see I've been trying to get it out of there. It'll come. Well, I just got to the point where I started torquing them down. And that's good, clean fun. So now I gotta take this back off. And yeah. Fuck. I got some figuring out to do because the chain is already tensioned and it's just, oh my god. Alright, so before I freaked out too bad, I realized I could just pull this center cap. Might have to pap it a couple times, but it's better than pulling the whole damn thing. Alright, so I popped this top piece off and well, I could lie to you and say I got it out, but I didn't. I was able to see in there a little bit more and saw that it was below the line. You can see I marked it here. And then I even tried to use the speed out, which was also marked for depth. And I just thought that's just going to mess it up worse. I don't want to take it all apart because of all the tension on here. I literally just released the tensioner. So, you know, I'm going to go with Honda fucking rules. And I don't need that bolt. Which I probably don't because it's got so much other... And it's right in the middle, so... I don't feel like it's gonna ruin anything. I might lose a horsepower or two, but at the end of the day, it's better to leave it alone than it is to fuck with it. When and if, yeah, that's appropriate. When and if I ever change this again, after blowing it up or whatever, then yeah, I'll deal with it at that point. For now, moving on with it, 22 foot-pounds of torque. Here we go. Scratch that. It is 22 Newton metric, 16 foot-pound. And you can see that it is 6mm bolts. It's these little guys off to the side, and then the center one, which I have no idea. No idea. I got it all nice and oiled up. Greasy. Love my little can. This thing's awesome. Timing marks, as you can see, right there. And then down here as well. Get dead on. So, yeah, let's get rid of this bubble of oil here. Alright, as you can see, pretty much fucking dead on. Up there is dead on. Funny enough, these are actually just a couple of tees off from the markers. Yeah, so it didn't quite line up, but they lined up. So, I mean, I saw in another video somebody scratched in there, but whatever. Kicking ass, taking numbers today. With the exception of that, you know. Rather than that. Alright, so power steering, AC, delete bracket. Alright, got the bottom one on. High strength thread lock. Thread lock. Moving on. Alright, that dude is on there. Got the pulley swapped out. Those all look pretty in line to me. Yeah. So thread locked, bolted down, not going anywhere. Sweet. Moving on. Well, I thought I had a seal. Sorry, pointing at the wrong thing. I thought I had one of these. Thought I ordered one. Turns out I had something else. It was actually the cam seal for the D16. So, but I do have this guy, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that out. Alright, just threw this guy on there. Doesn't appear to be touching it anywhere. So that's good. I was a little worried I bought the $20 Amazon one as opposed to the fucking $80 Drag Cartel one or whatever. Looks good to me. It's all looking really good. Yeah. Alright, so if you see there's 3 little bolts right there. Those are for the oil pan. I got those hiding. There's 11 regular bolts, which are these ones. And there's 2 goofy chubby in the middle ones. There we go. Those 2 chubby in the middle ones only fit in the bottom 2. So I think that's where I'll put them. And then I'm going to put some Honda bond on this guy. Put some Honda bond on the back of that guy. And get ready to stick it on there. Alright, got these guys. Looks like the bottom ones and all the side ones are going to be 12. 12, so I got that on there. They're all kind of just finger tight right now, so yeah, I'm going to torque them. Alright, got that guy goop down there, torqued down. And I'm going to throw on the VTEC thing. Alright, that looks appropriate. The new one didn't come with one, so I had a bolt, so I had to find one. I just so happened to have a nice little shiny little 8mm. Well, the thing's 8mm. I don't know what size thread it is, so that guy's on there. Yeah, buddy. Alright, next. Alright, get the old crankshaft pulley back on there. Hook this guy all up. I don't know if you can see, I just painted that. A little timing mark. I am still in time. You can see my little dashes right there. Yeah. Put this guy on, everything spins. It's at a good tautness. 90 degrees. Not too hard. I had the crankshaft sensor. Threw on an oil filter. And that's about where I'm at. Oh, I decided I wanted to fill up. It's got a little valley here. I decided I was gonna stick a little rubber cap in there. This little one right here, which is M12.07. Number I've never heard of. It's this guy right here. Anyways, yeah, it's back on there. It's literally ready for starter and coolant lines and all that jazz. Valve cover sits over there. Still debating on what to do with that. I got some ideas. Might try hydro dipping it with either this black, which is the car color, and this green. Ordered another one of these. So I got green and black, or just green. I kind of want to try hydro dipping, but at 40 bucks a can, I'm not sure that's the best way to go. So yeah, alright, find something else to do. Alright, so I just got the PCV valve all cleaned off on the old wire wheel. I'll go ahead and throw that guy in here. Alright, got that guy on there. As you can see, it has a crush washer, because in the book on yonder here, right there, B, install parts reverse order and remove new gasket, meaning replace the gasket. Does not say if it is a crush washer or a whatever rubber. So I thought back to when I disassembled it, and I came up with this, which is a oil can. It came with 3 of these guys. I got 3 set. Came with 3 cans, 3 filters, 3 crush washers, and a CR2034 battery, which I cannot figure out what it's for. The best I can think of is it's for the key fob, but I don't know why. Anyways, yeah, moving right along. Thanks, dude. As you can see by the shade of black on this thing, I've taken it back down to factory metal once again to get this guy. It said 82. Anyways, got like 2 coats of primer on there, and like 4 coats of crinkle that never crinkled correctly. Kind of just kept adding to it. So I figure, since I'm redoing this guy, might as well redo this dude, make it look better. That was a practice run. There's a couple things I wanted to do to it anyways before I painted it, but I never got around to. I want to sand these down real good, get those nice and polished. I want to take this dude out, get that tap, put a set screw in there, because obviously that's gone. This guy I want to tap that and get a set screw in there, because the brake boost is getting put on the bottom. Come off. Well, I guess that is pretty much straight down, huh? So I thought about coming off the back in here, and I'll have to think about it a little bit here. Let me zoom out to my camera, quit freaking out. That didn't get really any kind of cleaned. There's a lot of residue from me cleaning the outside of this. But anyways, yeah, brake booster on the bottom somewhere, probably. And this guy, I'll probably take that off and set screw it as well. Debating on whether or not to get rid of these while I can. Figure out if I can get rid of these, if I should get rid of them. Now's the time to do it. But yeah, this bolt is on order. Should be here a couple of days on Wednesday. So maybe I'll do that after work. For the meantime, these guys are all still torqued down. Watched a couple videos to kind of freak myself out on something, so I kind of want to take the time and cover off anyways. I know I'm alright on that, but there's a couple of spots I missed on the gasket where I feel like I should go back anyways and get those. A couple of things I wanted to redo, so basically this was just kind of a test run. So now I gotta take a bunch of this crap off, put it back on. But for right now, alright, took this dude off. You see the blue Sharpie there, I went around and marked a couple of spots that I want to kind of pay attention to. Basically just getting rid of some casting marks, a couple marks up top. I'm probably going to get rid of these fins. Look at some pictures online, double check there's nothing I need them for. Same goes with this guy. It's got some casting markings around the edge of that as well. On the side a little bit there. I haven't quite decided how I want to deal with that one. Kind of like how it looks, kind of Art Deco-y. I did get this guy pulled. I did not get that one pulled. I tried, but it is in there something fierce. And I still haven't looked up what this is. So. Alright, put this dude on here real quick just to make sure nothing's messed up. Didn't screw anything up. Of course I didn't screw anything up. Got these guys blended down. Not gonna know entirely what they look like until I get some primer on there and I can see kind of some high spots and whatnot. But I think for crinkle it's gonna be plenty good. There's a couple little bumpies, ridges there, but not too bad for a die grinder. And 20 minutes of cutting some stuff off. I also got rid of the casing marks around here, anything that I had blue on. Went around and smoothed out and got rid of any old line there. Kind of smooth some stuff up. Working on some tapping things right now. Yeah. I was gonna order another one for this, but I think this might actually work. Because the tap, you know. So I think that might work actually for my these two guys, whatever it was. Where the hell's the box? The tap and drill set. Well, it doesn't tell you anything really. Alright, just pause to check out what size drill bit this actually is. It's a 3/8 24 tap, and this is an 8.5 is the best I can see. It doesn't say on the website. I just bought the kit off of Amazon for like $9 last night. It's in my hand this morning. This would be the perfect size for this guy, this dude, that dude. Tap, and then just buy some set screws, 3/8 set screws to plop in there. I already got them in my Amazon cart, and they are about to get purchased, because I was debating on whether to do that or just put in a bolt and cut it off and then paint over it. Just kind of fill it in with a 8mm or 10mm or whatever. I don't know specifically these ones, but that one, these two, these mounting point ones. Figure out what all I need to drill out, what all I need to keep, and then move on from there. Alright, got that one done. I don't know how well we can see if we can't get some kind of... There we go, there's some threadage, look at that. Hopefully it's nice and perpendicular, so the set screw doesn't sit all wonky. So we'll see, huh? Alright, one down, at least 4 to go, at least 3 to go. Alright, so you got this little TAC 3 AN to 3/8 24 barb. I put them in, all of them, all 4 that I did here, and they're all nice and flush. They're all good. So I got my perpendicularities correct, something. Even this one looks good. So hopefully the set screws will work in perfectly. The reason I even started doing that is because of this guy. This is the coolant neck fill that comes up off of here, and I wanted an AN3 line running to. It's a braided steel line that is coming. It is not here yet, but it is coming. And so I'm gonna yeah, this guy, coolant reservoir tank that I got, that's gonna live somewhere over here, something like that, somewhere over in that yonderish. So this guy's gonna live in that side, and the braided steel is obviously gonna go to this. There's a 90 braided steel coming down like that, and this goes into a straight. So that guy's gonna go into here, but that is way too big, that little hole. So that's, again, I'm breaking out the 3/8 24. Not breaking it out, I'm reusing it again for this one, the 8.5 and the 3/8 24. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and drill that. I do got to be a little careful, because this is just a weep hole on top, a little overflow weep hole kind of going in. So I don't want to go very far No farther than I really need to. But if I need to, I can get in here and just drill straight through. So it's no big deal. I decided to pull it off so you can see what it's looking at there. It's not going to be that big of a deal if I go through, but I'm trying not to go through. Alright, so this new bolt comes either tomorrow or the next day, I believe. So I went ahead and pulled the valve cover back off. Just checked myself here. Up there. Haven't got the chain guard off, but I'm going to be looking at that next. I can't see the dot either. But anyways, oil pump's still lining up. So should be still lining up. I rotated it back through a couple times. Foolishly hoping that the chain links would line back up, but I don't know. But you can see that guy is completely lined up. These guys are sitting right there. So, I mean, I could literally go a hair and then, but I'm pretty sure that's top dead center right there. I'm going to take this off just to make sure. Well, there it is. In all its glory. Got a little bit of meat. Almost nothing above the head. There's pretty much nothing above the head there. Sorry you can't see it very well, but it is. I'm going to think about this one. Give it a little liquid wrench first off. See what kind of lubage I can give it. I'm going to give it everything I can before I even touch it, so it's going to suck.